Hello, and thank you so much for taking the time to watch our Orem Communications Center preview. My name is Courtney Kuntz. I am the dispatch or communications supervisor. Just a little bit of background about myself. I have been with Orem for just a little while, just for about 4 months or so. But I do have about 6 years of dispatching experience prior to that. I love dispatching. I love being in public safety. It takes a specific type of person to do our job, and we hope that you are that type of person. Um, this preview is meant to do just that, to really figure out for you if this is something that you are really interested in. There's a lot of misconceptions out there about dispatch, and so we want to really make sure that you are prepared when you are coming into this type of environment to see if it's something that you would actually like to do. So we're going to start off with just a quick introduction video that was made in April of 2020 over National Telecommunicators Week, which is usually the second week of April. So here we go. So that is just a little clip of some of our dispatchers and, obviously some of our officers, some of the equipment that we have around our station, just to kind of, give you just a little glimpse of what it's like. And that song really is, that is what it is. We're here on the worst day of somebody's life, and that's our job is to answer that call or to answer their call. So moving on, speaking of calls, so for the year of 2019, so we handled a total of 152,680 total calls. Of that, approximately 120,000 of them were admin calls. 32,000, a little bit over that, were 911 calls. almost 5,000 were abandoned and 75 were text to 911 sessions. So we do have a pretty good call volume. We also dispatch for and take calls for the cities of Orem and for Lindon as well. So currently we have 28 total dispatchers. We have 1 full-time supervisor, who is myself. We have 5 full-time lead dispatchers, who will basically be your primary point of contact. They'll be your immediate supervisor. We have 13 full-time dispatchers and 6 job share or flex or on-call dispatchers. So our job share, they do just that. We have 2 dispatchers who split basically a 40-hour work week. And then we have flex and on-call dispatchers who come in and cover overtime when it's needed. We're looking to hire 4 full-time dispatchers right now, but that could change due to staffing needs. So right now we've got, this is kind of our staffing flow chart. So we have, there we go. We have the comm supervisor, who again is myself, up at the top, and then you've got your 5 leads here. One of them is our training lead or our training coordinator. So we have our 4 floor leads, and then we have the dispatchers under them, and then we have our training coordinator here, who is over our flex or on-call dispatchers. So this is the layout of our center. So you'll come in the door right here, and then you've got a position here, 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 and then our last one is here. And then right as you come in the door, if you're to immediately turn right, we have a break room that has a large fridge. We've got a microwave, oven, or I'm sorry, like a little stove, and then our lockers, cubbies, and we do have a bathroom back there for emergencies. We prefer it's only a number 1 situation because it is in such a small area. We don't want anything wafting or staying as far as smells go. So here's a real life picture of what that looks like. So the door that you come into is right here. So you've got the 6 consoles here, the break room right back here, and then you've got your cubbies. The lockers are on the other side of this wall, and then the bathroom is just right there at the end of the hallway. Here's an up close picture of what all of the centers look like, or I'm sorry, all of the consoles look like. So we've got our mapping system here, our 911 phone here. These are the 2 screens that we primarily do all of our dispatching on. Those were all of our systems are that we use to dispatch. This right here is what you're seeing is our CAD system. That stands for computer aided dispatch. And that's the primary system that we use to enter calls and to dispatch units to those calls. And then we've got our radio system here. These are just some of the types of calls that we take, ranging anywhere from rape, domestic violence, assault, theft, noise complaint, burglary in progress, animal control, junkyard complaint. We really can go to a high adrenaline call like a robbery in progress or a pursuit or something that's, like a rape or domestic violence. And then the next call we take is a citizen complaining about their neighbor. I mean, it really does change that fast, and our adrenaline is just all over the place constantly throughout the day. We just are always having to adjust to what type of calls that we're taking. So here are just a few actual calls that have from our center that we have taken.
Hi, I have a question. Okay. Sorry. Why was the power out in Orem? There was a substation explosion. There was a what? I'm sorry? A substation that a transformer exploded in. A transformer exploded? Uh-huh. Like a giant robot or like a power transformer? A power transformer exploded at Sonic Car Wash. What was at the substation? Like a substation? Like a power substation? Oh, at a power substation, a transformer exploded. Okay, that makes sense because how long is the power going to be out? Because I'm afraid that I'm at work right now, but I'm afraid my house might be affected. I have no idea. You'd have to tell the power company for that. We don't do anything with the power. Okay, thank you so much. All right, bye.
So it is, a little funny. It is a little bit laughable, but we have to remain professional on the call. When people ask us if it's essentially a robot that exploded at a Sonic, is obviously not what was going on, but we still have to remain professional and just answer the public's questions.
I'm going to be on Canyon Road in 2J, south of North End of University Avenue. It's going to be 5625 North Canyon Road on a black Jaguar. Right back.
Okay, 5225 North.
12, the vehicle is accelerated away from me. We're going southbound Canyon Road, 2J.
I'll be southbound on City Road, 2J.
Not sure what happened there. Basically, you get the gist of it, that it was one of our sergeants was trying to stop a vehicle. It did not stop. It fled. It accelerated away, and we ended up getting into a pursuit with that vehicle. So that's more of the radio traffic side. But there's still, things that we have to deal with very regularly in the dispatch center. And then this is the last one.
Hi, I'm just for a dead deer that doesn't look like it was hit or anything. It looks like it might have had a heart attack and just died right on the side of the road.
The deer had a heart attack and died on the side of the road?
Yeah, that appears to be correct.
Okay, what address?
It's at the Artisan Salon and Spa, it's right on their property, laying there dead.
Where is it?
At Artisan Spa and Salon.
Is that in Lindon?
Yes, ma'am.
And it's off to the side of the road, right?
It's actually up on a little hill, just laying there dead.
Okay, we'll go ahead and pass it on to the Division of Wildlife to have it picked up, okay?
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
So again, deer having a heart attack might be, kind of comical, but to this citizen, it was an emergency. And so he felt like he needed to call in and let us know about it, which is absolutely right. We don't want, deceased wildlife hanging around, but still we need to remain professional in those types of situations. Here's what our schedule looks like. So basically, we have 4 crews or 4 teams that work under those 4 leads, those 4 floor leads that we were talking about. So you have team 1 and 2 are the yellow days, and team 3 and 4 are the blue days. It is 12-hour shifts, so it's 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. and 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. So basically the way that it works is that you work 3 12s and 1 4-hour shift every week. We have it worked out in a way that each dispatcher mostly has a trade partner. And so what they do is they trade their 4-hour shift, and they only have to work 3 12s one week and then 3 12s and an 8-hour shift the next week, giving you a 3-day weekend, actual weekend, every other weekend. That isn't guaranteed. So if you don't have a trade partner, you would work the 3 12s and a 4 every week. But most of the time it does work out to be that trade, that trading schedule. With that, you will continue on here. So like I said, we do work 12-hour shifts. It is on a bid system, so the floor leads bid first, and then in order of seniority, you would sign up on the shift and under which lead you would like to work under to be your immediate supervisor. If that lead does not have any availability, then you would not be able to work under them, and you would have to work under a different lead where there is availability. We do have on-call days. The on-call time is from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., which is typically our busiest time of the day, and that helps our dispatchers both days and graves so that they're not having to adjust their sleep schedule too much to where it would affect them. Your on-call days are on your days off. You sign up for them a couple months in advance so that you know what they are, and you do, however, if you are called in, you are required to come in. Most dispatchers have a couple a month that they're responsible for, so not too bad. And you're normally, when you are called in, it is normally on short notice. So short days and trades, we already briefly talked about, but like I said, typically you are responsible for the 3 12-hour shifts and a 4-hour shift every week. Because of the trades, it's that 3 12-hour shifts one week and then 3 12-hour shifts and an 8-hour shifts the next week. There is also a possibility that if you need a day off and it's not able to be covered by vacation time, if we don't have the staffing, you are able to trade other dispatchers if they're willing to trade with you. We can't obviously guarantee that, but I feel like most of the dispatchers are really good about trading for important days or if you need that day off. But again, it's not guaranteed. It is your shift. You are responsible for it. We do, as we are a 24/7 agency, we have to be staffed every hour, every day, 365. We do often work important days that are important to us, such as holidays, birthdays, anniversaries. Again, you can try to trade, but just know that there are going to be times where you're working those important days, weekends included. Here is our training process. So generally you start out with orientation. That is a week long, just basically going over our policies and procedures as far as dress code, appearance, things like that. Taking a very general overview into our CAD system, which again is computer aided dispatch. And then after that week of orientation, you will be on the floor taking actual admin calls. This number 2 is just strictly administrative calls, so you won't be taking 911 calls until the very end of training. So call taking and getting a real feel for our systems. Then you'll move on to our service channel, which is basically if an officer needs a tow or if they need assistance from another agency, they want you to run somebody to see if they have warrants, anything like that would fall under service. So you'll do that next. Then after you pass that off, you will go to step 4, which is radio or channel 1, which is where all other traffic takes place. So all of your traffic stops, signing out at collisions, things of that nature, that would all go to number 4. And then lastly, you'll be trained on fire and 911. So this is where you'll learn to handle structure fires and medical calls primarily, so sending out an ambulance to someone who's having a heart attack, giving them updates, etc. And then 911, obviously, where you're answering our 911 calls and taking those. That generally takes that whole process takes usually about 6 months. For some people it's faster, for some people it's a little bit longer. Just depends on what kind of calls you get and the experience that you're able to have. Typically, we have you on days for the first 3 months and graveyard for the last half of your training. So just know that ahead of time that you will be required to do both. And then after you get released from training for the first year total, so basically the next 6 months, you'll rotate every 10 weeks between days and graves so that you're getting a feel and you're getting experience on both shifts. These are some of the things that are required within 6 months of hire. The city does pay for these, and you can do them while you're working, so you don't have to do them outside of work. So you have your CPR certification. IAED stands for the International Academy of Emergency Dispatch Certification. That is a course basically that you take to make sure that you are up to par with their standards, which are also our standards. You have the Utah State EMD, which stands for the Emergency Medical Dispatch. That's about 24 hours of training, and you usually do that towards the end of your course when you're doing the fire and 911 portion. And then you have your post certification, which again is through the state, and we hold ourselves to that standard and are actually required to be held to that standard. And then you have your FEMA, which stands for the Federal Emergency Management Agency. And that's basically, there's just a couple courses that you, I believe, just have to read through the material and then pass off with a test acknowledging that you are able to, that you understand the material. And then finally is BCI and UCGIS training. BCI is the Bureau of Criminal Investigation, and then UCGIS is the Utah Criminal Justice Information System. So that's where we get all of our information as far as driver's licenses and license plates, warrants, anything that you would want to know about somebody or that an officer would need to know about somebody is through that system. So we obviously have to have the required training in order for you to be able to access that. Otherwise, you couldn't really dispatch. If you have any questions, here is my email. Feel free to email me. After you have viewed this, please email me regardless on if you have questions or not, letting me know that you have watched this video, and then I will send you a link to complete your testing. The testing is timed, and it's through a company called Critical. It often does go to spam email, so just be on the lookout for that. Anyways, so again, make sure to please email me once you have finished so I can send you a link for testing. After you do the test, if you successfully complete it, we'll move on to an interview and continue from there. If you did not pass the testing, I will let you know that unfortunately that wasn't passed and we will not be able to proceed. I will also include in this email with this video an email for Scott Swift, who is our HR benefits representative. If you have any questions specifically regarding benefits, please email him. If you have any questions regarding the dispatch portion or anything in this video, please email me. Thank you so much, and I really look forward to interviewing you, hopefully, and meeting with you, and hopefully getting you started in our dispatch center. Thank you so much, and have a great day.